Hobart's Ultra 106.5 with Scotty and Joe and Celia Bray this morning, one of my regulars here on the show, and she's been doing some brilliant stuff over the years with Festival of Dreams and other things, and then she decided to go on a bit of a road trip around the world, and she's with us right now. Celia, good morning.
Good morning, Scotty.
All the way from Kenya. Now tell me, I guess we should backtrack a little bit because you've been gone now over 12 months, haven't you?
Heading up to 2 years, actually.
What?
Yeah.
How time flies.
Over 2011.
How time flies. So tell me, what was your purpose of leaving Australia in the first place?
My reason for leaving Australia was to follow my dream to do international peace-building work. I've been wanting to do that for many years, and finally I plucked up the courage to pack everything up in Australia and take a one-way ticket to what was India at the time, and just go and work internationally.
I'm just so inspired by that because sometimes we can be so careful. And you had a really good job before you left, and you had a nice career in Tasmania. But you just said, okay, I'm just going for it, and you did. And are you surprised by the results of you taking the courage to go and do that?
Yeah, look, I am. I think it's no harder to live my dream than it was to not live my dream. Like, I had the financial security of a good job and a good career, and I loved Tasmania. Like, I miss the beauty of Hobart, without a doubt. But while financially things are less secure with me here, and obviously culturally I'm having to adjust to many different places, I don't feel like there's any gap between who I am and who I want to be in the world, or what I'm doing and what I want to do. So for me, there's a real fulfillment in that, and taking that risk is part of the freedom and fulfillment. It's great.
Yeah, great stuff. Now, you find yourself in Kenya. We're talking to you in Kenya at the moment. What did you find when you got to Kenya?
So Kenya is a land that takes a long time to really understand and get to know. I've been here 1 year now, and I think I've still got a lot to learn. But what I found here was that the culture here is one where there's a lot of individualism, whereas I thought there'd be much more community, and people are really, really focused on money. And it's not just because of poverty, because I've been to other poor countries, and there's not the same sense of, I have to get money, and I'll do anything to get it. So it's an interesting culture to be in. And on the flip side of that, things like family are really important here, and the passion of people here is really amazing, and there's so much talent and innovation that's possible. So it's an amazing country.
One thing that you did really well here in Tasmania, and we talked about it many times, is Festival of Dreams, and that worked beautifully here in Tasmania. You're now looking at starting that and launching that in Kenya. Does it translate well into the Kenyan culture?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So when I came to Kenya, I came to do a Skillshare arrangement with a peace-building organisation. I was invited to come, and they started asking me what I was doing in Australia, and I shared about this youth program that empowers young people to learn how to create their own opportunities. And all the responses I got from my work colleagues, well, we need that here, that's what's missing here. And I'm like, no, you don't. You really don't. Like, I don't want to do that again. Like, that was a lot of work, and I've come to learn from you guys. I haven't come to impose a program. So we researched it here, and we did a little trial version of it. And young people who participated in that have already gone on and created amazing projects themselves. And so we really realised that it really works here, and there's a lot of passion for it. So hence I'm setting it up.
So, despite the fact that you really didn't want to do it again, you must be so excited about what that means.
Yeah, look, I'm actually loving it. I mean, while I was resistant to doing it initially, there's so much passion. I feel like I'm following other people's, passion for it, rather than when I was in Tasmania, when it was never been trialled before, and setting it up was a lot of work because it was an untried idea. Here, there's a real sense of need generally in the culture for something like this. So I'm having a great time, and I've got a great team.
What have you seen so far? Because you said you had a trial period. What did you see in that period?
Well, you asked earlier what some of the things I found in Kenya, and one of the things that surprised me is the impact that a lot of the international aid agencies have in this country. And they've created a lot of dependence. So what that means is that they pay community members to attend trainings and things like that. So when I was setting up Festival of Dreams, the trial, like, my philosophy is that we don't pay you to come and do something you're going to benefit from. Like, we don't get paid to go to school. Like,
no, that's right. Yeah.
So a lot of young people initially were like, oh, if you're not paying us, we're not coming. And that was a real shock to me about what we've done as an international community in Kenya in terms of creating an expectation that young people should get some sort of reimbursement or payment for their own development. So when we did the trial, we said, look, bring your own lunch, get yourself there, and, we're not paying any shipping fees. And so a lot of young people said, we're not coming, which was a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
But lots of young people did come, and when it was only a one-day forum, and after that, the young people kept ringing me up and saying, we want this, we've set up a team, when can you come back and tell us what the next steps are? And they were spending their own money, which is unheard of in this country. Their own money, their own resources, and these are poor people from the slums, to really get this thing up and running. And they've also created their own youth organisation from what they've got from working with Festival of Dreams.
Inspiring stuff, Celia. I'm so excited about it. Is there somewhere that we can go and find out more?
Absolutely. We've actually just launched a fundraising campaign in Australia too. We're trying to raise $45,000 Australian, and that will be enough to kick off our first program. And I'm actually meeting this morning with the United Nations Development Program to talk about them getting on board, and we've got the YMCA Kenya, and we've got some really good partners on board. But what they're going to want to see is going to want to see the first one so that they can get confidence in the process. So we're asking all of our Australian people and friends and people who believe in this sort of process to assist us just to kick off the first one. There's the Indiegogo website. If you Google, and Facebook, in fact, Facebook's the best. I love social media.
Yep.
So Facebook, you can go to the Festival of Dreams Kenya funding campaign and learn all about the program.
Well, it sounds like you've created a monster, and it's really fantastic, Celia. Thanks so much for joining us on Ultra 1065, all the way from Kenya.
Thank you, Scotty.
Celia Bray there. She's the founder of Festival for Dreams. Check out more and help them with their fundraising too. They're aiming to raise $45,000. Festival of Dreams Kenya on Facebook.